There are so many people that now have access to social media and the ability to create content and put themselves out there into the marketplace. And with all of these people now having access, it's no secret that there is a lot of noise out there in the marketplace. So when it comes to building your business, what you need to do is you need to be able to cut through the noise. So how do we do this? Well, firstly, you need to be posting consistently. You want to be posting at least once a day as a minimum, ideally 2 to 3 times a day. You want to break up your content as well. So you want to have different types of content. You want to show social proof as one form. So if you've done something with a client or a customer that's gotten them a result of some sort, maybe you've got a testimonial or someone's given you some really good feedback, then you want to be able to show this on your content to be able to prove that you know what you're doing and you're able to get people results. Another form of content that you can show is the actual value education content. So even if you produce a product as opposed to a service, you still want to be providing some sort of information and value around that. So that can be tips around the product that you use. For example, if you offer like a software that helps people post social media, then you might want to produce content exactly like this video that talks about the need for content every single day and to consistently post content in order to break through the noise in the marketplace. You're actually educating your customers that are using this software product on what they actually need to be doing in terms of producing content to be able to get results, and then naturally, obviously recommending they use your software, right? If you offer some sort of health product, let's say you offer like a protein shake, then you might offer some information around exercise, around weight training, or around diet in general as another value add. And then obviously that leads you to talking about the protein shake that you offer. So you want to offer value. Obviously, when it comes to a service-based business, that's no secret, okay? But you want to really just think about what it is that your customer is maybe having a problem with, what sort of solutions they're looking for, and then naturally the content will come from there. You'll be able to naturally be able to create some sort of value that's going to help them get from where they are to where they want to be. And the idea behind this type of content is to actually, again, show that you know what you're doing, and to build trust and authority with those that follow you by giving them value and showing them in some small way that they can get some value out of what it is that you have to offer, which naturally leads them to want to then work with you in a deeper way to get more value. Another type of content that you want to show, of course, is connection content. So you want to be actually letting your audience know about you or about your company. Okay, so this can be stuff like if you're a company and you're building a company brand, you can still show your team, you can show your culture, all right, you can show your executive team, your director, your founder, a little bit about their life, their family, get people, allow people to actually understand who's behind the brand. And obviously when it comes to those of you that are building a personal brand, you know, it's things again like you're showing you spending time with family, your hobbies, just getting to know you in a deeper way, because obviously that allows people to build that relationship with you, which builds trust, builds familiarity, which helps with everything else that you're trying to achieve with the rest of your content. So far I've spoken about proof, like testimonials, reviews, case studies. I've spoken about adding value, and I've also spoken about connection. Okay. Then you obviously have your offer content. So this is where you're actually putting offers out there. Okay. So if you're a service provider, like a coach, for example, you know, this might be that you're putting together a case study group. So you'd want to put an offer out there for people to be able to secure one of the spots in that case study group. Now, the thing about your offer content is you want to understand that you want to be providing 3.5 pieces of content that doesn't make an offer to every one piece of content that does make an offer. This has been proven. There's been some pretty big case studies that have been done on it, and you know, marketing channels, you know, in the kind of radio space, all of these different entities and marketplaces have done research on this. And if you are making offers more often than at least versus at least providing 3.5 pieces of like value, then you're actually going to get what's called offer fatigue with your followers. And they're going to just basically switch off because it just feels like they're constantly being pitched to. Of course, that's the minimum. Ideally, you want to be looking to, put four, five, six pieces of content out there to every offer that you put out there. So those other pieces of content are those connection ones, adding value, and then making the offers within that. Every fourth, fifth, sixth piece of content that you post, right? So you want to be doing this. You want to be posting these different types of content. As I said, you want to be at least posting once a day, ideally 2 to 3 times a day, and you spread out the different types of the types of content throughout the day and throughout the week. So you want to come up with your own strategy around that. For example, on a Monday, you might post an offer, right? It's a good day to do it because people are in kind of guilt mode from slacking off over the weekend. They feel like they need to do something. It's a good day to put something out there and get people to take action because they're already feeling like they need to do more. Okay. And then maybe Tuesday is a piece of connection content. Wednesday might be a testimonial proof. And then Thursday might be a piece of value and so on and so forth. And that's how you want to do it. In terms of your content itself, what you want to make sure you're doing is speaking quickly, giving the information as quickly as you can, okay? Because people don't have very good attention spans these days. You want to make it dynamic as well. So different camera angles, different backgrounds, music. Ideally, you want to have something changing or moving on the screen every sort of 3 seconds or so to keep people's attention, okay? Now, not every piece of content needs to be like that. Right now, I'm obviously just kind of having a chat with you guys about this sort of stuff. But ideally, you want to start working that in, and you'll see that in my content over time. I'm currently developing systems to include more of this in my content. It can be cut scenes as well. Intro videos, outro videos. Just make the whole thing more dynamic. A really easy way to do it, where you're still just having a chat. If you don't have the time to edit in a lot of this sort of stuff, maybe you're not really you don't really know how to put in videos over the top of your thing, over your main video, whatever it is. If you're still kind of learning those skills, then an easy way is to just go for a walk and do like a walking talking, and that can make it a bit more dynamic with changing scenes. And of course, you could kind of like take a walk to a park or something or a beach. You could be talking on the way, then you sort of cut the next piece as you there at the beach, and then cutting up a couple of different angles from there, and then maybe walking home, for example. That would be an easy way to make your content a little bit more dynamic. So that's it from me. I hope you found some value in this video. I'm really excited to share with you about how to actually break through the noise in the marketplace and start getting your content producing a little bit better, a bit more dynamically, how to break it up over the week, what to include, including the different types of content, and making sure that you're not giving your followers offer fatigue, remembering that, okay? So if you like this video, please let me know. You can always like or leave me a comment if you have any questions. And of course, please subscribe and hit the bell button to get notified for more content, because I've got a whole heap of content coming for you guys. And you're going to be able to see what I'm talking about in action with my videos as I continue to develop them and add more fun and dynamic sort of aspects to it. And we're going to be covering off on a lot of different things, from AI to marketing, to actually how do you perform sales processes. There's going to be a lot of really cool stuff coming. So make sure you're following for more. That's it from me. Thanks.